From clarkwoods.com, this is Horribly Off Topic, episode 139. I am Chris.
139, and I'm feeling fine.
You're
and
feeling
I'm,
fine.
And I'm Steve, and I'm feeling Steve.
Oh,
I am
I'm
me.
glad you're feeling you.
And I'm feeling me myself.
I don't need to feel you.
Thanks.
I mean, if you were like, you're feeling a little bit nervous about feeling yourself, I mean, sometimes a fella has to give another fella a hand.
I wasn't... I was talking to a friend of mine a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And she works as an admin in an office.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the people that works in the office came up to her without the object in question and asked her, what kind of batteries go in my mouse? And I think she was definitely she was polite in the situation, something that I probably would not have been.
Probably why you're not an admin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the tasks that I perform over the course of my career have been administrative tasks,
right?
Because I'm not. I worked in the industry that is regulated by the FDA.
Sure,
you can try to figure out exactly where that is.
But you're not the go-to person in the office when there's a problem.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I might be able to help if there's a certain problem about a certain thing. I might be able to help.
Right.
But it definitely, I've never been the guy to ask about mouse batteries.
Mouse batteries. Yeah.
Now, I have I think what sort of sparked it in my brain was I have my little wireless mouse.
Yes.
And there's the little USB doohickey where you kind of plug it into the side of your computer so you can use the mouse.
Yeah.
And then next to it is the battery.
Right.
So if anybody that has eyes...
Yes, could open the bottom of their mouse.
And look to see what kind of batteries go in it.
Yeah.
Instead of asking somebody else who's never seen the mouse.
Yeah.
So I would have been like, why don't you look? I mean... Wow, that was good right off the bat.
Right out of the gate.
Wow, that was gross.
Right out of the gate. Wow, well,
It's just I was probably taking in so much air as I was expelling
as you were building
air.
up to this rant.
Yeah. And I'm like, just look, like you've experienced batteries in your life. I mean, like you're probably in between 20 years old and 60 something years old, somewhere in that time frame.
Right.
You've probably looked at a battery and looked at how big it was or how small it was.
Yeah.
And then you could probably gather with that information you've developed over time what kind of battery would fit in that little area on your mouse.
But you do remember that we live in a world
where idiots are abound.
Where back when you and I first started working, when CD drives were still a thing, when towers were still a thing.
Actually,
for
like
your
CD drives, like when I think that those were a luxury because I remember, or at least CD burners. I think CD burners were a little bit of a luxury at the time when I finished school. Like when you finished school was a little bit earlier. So I imagine CD-ROMs were starting to become...
CD-ROMs, by the time I was working, by the time I was out of my 4 years of college, CD-ROMs were the predominant way to get you software.
Yeah.
As evidenced by
by AOL
AOL's CDs and stuff like that.
But one of my favorite things to do with those was to put it on a mug and put it in the microwave and watch it spark. Because there's metal in there.
That was one of your favorite
we put
things.
Metal in the microwave.
We were so much more easily amused than kids these days.
Now they need an iPad and they need to put that in the microwave.
Just need a fucking microwave and a CD. Some or two CDs.
No.
No, so the CD drive, especially if you had a tower computer, which people know what I'm talking about when I say a tower computer.
I think the majority of the people that listen to this program are
I like the way you said program
are either around our age or a little bit younger. Okay. So I think they're aware.
They're aware. Okay. So
we might your students would be like one of them might have stumbled upon. They'll be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
What's a tower? I don't know. So the CD drive was, and this is a popular meme back in the day, and of course it was a text meme because back in the day it was too bandwidth expensive to post images, so we never saw any images of this. But the meme went around that somebody would be phoning into tech support and asking why their coffee holder on their computer wouldn't work. anymore. And of course, the coffee holder on their computer was the CD drive, right? So they would press a button, and the CD drive would typically be at the top of your tower, and you would press the button, it would eject, and that's where, theoretically, according to the urban legends, people would put their coffee. So, I mean, in that world where people thought that their CD drive was a coffee holder, are you that surprised that there are folks who don't know what kind of batteries?
No, but okay. So, but here's the difference between that. Like a CD drive is a new experience. So that's not me. That's Chris.
That's me. Yeah.
He's got a.
Well, let's see.
We'll save it for later in the show.
Yeah.
So, like this is like a new piece of technology.
Yes.
Like a battery is something we've all seen and interacted with over the course of our lives. I remember I had this fucking stereo with two tape decks.
Yeah, and
it wasn't really no. It was two tape decks, and like it was just.
Imagine if that was the original title of that Moby song. No,
that was Beck.
Beck. Same difference.
So it had two tape decks in it. So do you remember the concept of high speed dubbing?
I do indeed.
So when you would be making a mixtape or whatever else, you could do it quickly.
Yes.
So, but make sure you stop it at the right time, or else.
Yeah, it was an art form.
Yeah.
This is why these kids today, they don't understand. They don't know from tapes.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know magnetic tape.
They don't get it. There's an art to making a mixtape.
Yeah, I was never good at it, but I had high-speed dubbing, so I could make a carbon copy of whatever tape.
Yeah.
But the problem was, like with most tapes of like, let's just say I had a Michael Jackson tape, Michael Jackson bad tape. I had that. Mm-hmm. Say I wanted to make a copy of that for my friend.
And not just Liberian Girl. You wanted the whole thing.
Ugh, I hated that song. That was one that I would always skip.
Isn't that one like near the end of one of the sides? I can't remember.
I might have it.
I'll look it up. Go on with your anecdote.
It might have been, but the thing is, like you would put the first side on the first side of the blank tape.
Yes.
And then you'd still have additional blank tape left.
Yes. This the art form of this.
Because I remember, like the way
I found out Liberian Girl is actually track number 4, which would I assume
probably put it on the latter half of side A.
Yeah. So it's 11 tracks on the album. Liberian Girl is track 4.
So I remember I didn't actually buy the album Flood. They Might Be Giants album Flood, which I think is pretty much up there as far as one of my favorite.
Birdhouse in your soul.
There definitely is.
Is it powered by batteries?
No, the electricity out of the wall. I'm a robot. It's probably one of my favorite albums of all time. I think is Flood, and the simple fact that I did not own a copy of it until until way later on CD. Is really odd.
Things happen.
Yeah,
things happen.
So I mean,
youth.
I remember this kid that lived up the street from me at the time made a copy of it for me, and then there was what the fuck? I think that the song is like "We Need a Rock."
No, I don't know the album.
Okay, well, I'm just people that do. That song was at the end of the first side of the tape that was made for me.
Yeah,
and then he was nice enough to start the song over because it didn't. It got halfway through that song.
Yeah,
and then it started over again on the next side of the tape. So
yeah.
But it's like, I mean, if you're not paying attention to something like that, and you're like, and you have to be like actually looking into the thing or actually timing it out, because like if it's a 60-minute like blank tape, you just sort of have to time it out and figure out how long each of these songs are, and like it's not going to be in the liner notes.
No.
I think it actually started being in the liner notes on CD, which when it wouldn't be as important.
Right.
Well, actually, you could, dub from a CD, and so then you have that.
What that made me think of. Sorry, mine is not nearly as grand as Steve's.
That was one of the better burps I think I've ever had on the show. You might want to isolate that
one. What that made me think of is when we were in the studio recording our demo tape. My band Soma, or Brand X at the time. We had to make a decision about what songs were going to go where, and we had this very epic Cure-esque song that John my friend John wrote, and that was very long. So that was going to be the bulk of the B-side. But we needed to figure out what other song was going to go on there, and the other song that went on there that made the timing be just about right, so that the two sides were equal, was my song, Anymore, which made the whole second side be this really depressing side of the demo tape. And I think there were a lot of people who just never, if they listened to the tape at all, never listened to the second side. And I think part of that is my damn fault, because my song was so awful. There were actually good parts of John's song. He would tell you that's not the case, I think. But there were good parts of his song. There were not good parts of my song.
So I have something for you.
Oh, yes?
Hopefully this will come through on...
Oh, okay. You got a gift?
I do have a gift. Where is it?
I heard that in German, gift... no, wait. Is it German? Japanese? I don't know. There's one of those movies that like vaguely referenced World War II. They talked about how we would be dropping aid onto countries, aid care packages onto countries with the word gift
Here
on
it is,
them.
here it is.
But the word
right.
gift was a bad thing in whatever country this was.
Oh, cool. So, okay, so...
That was me.
Hold on.
That was me buying time for you to get your gift.
So I think.
So you want to hold the speaker as close to the mic as you can.
I know. I gotta rewind it a little bit.
Okay, all right.
There we go.
Like the Thunderheads that we are, we purchased 90-minute tapes for a 60-minute album, and so there's a big space of nothing at the end of this side. So if you really want to listen to some more music, just fast forward to the end of this side and you listen some more. Okay? Bye.
So people that had a CD copy of Psycho's Bar Mitzvah, which was just the band.
Yeah.
But the tape version, we had that message at the end of the first side.
Yeah.
Because I think Garen went to wherever. I think it went Radio Shack or Strawberries.
Oh,
or
Strawberries.
some fucking place.
I haven't thought about that place.
To buy tapes, and I think that he got a really good deal on.
Sure, it wasn't The Wall. You ever go to The Wall?
What's The Wall?
The Wall was I don't know if it was a full-on chain, but there were a couple locations. They had one at the Burlington Mall, and they had one at at what was the Methuen Mall, which is now the Loop in Methuen.
Oh,
but The Wall.
I don't remember that.
No.
Well,
they had a lifetime. They had a lifetime replacement policy at The Wall, which is why I started buying albums there in college. It did me a lot of good when they went out of business.
Yeah, it's like lifetime replacement. My record got scratched. I guess I'll get. Oh no!
It was on CDs, and I actually did take advantage of it a couple of times. Anyway, sorry. So you had Garen went out, bought
like a whole shitload of tapes. Like I think I got a good deal at some place.
Yeah.
And after figuring out, we're like, oh shit, these are 90-minute tapes, and so we're trying to mass produce these motherfuckers,
right,
for all the people that. It was weird because I think we talked about this on the TNS episode, but like go back, you can reference it. But like those ones aren't available on iTunes anymore. You're gonna have to go.
I'll try to throw them in the show notes.
Yeah, throw them in the show notes. So like Chris, they're still on the website.
They're still on the website.
They still exist. You still can find them, but it's not it's not easy as downloading it on your phone. But the
fucking bastards at Squarespace. I got a bone to pick with them someday, because there are some podcasts that somehow get around the goddamn 100 episode limit, and I don't know how they do it. And there's no public way to do it. I think you got to grease somebody.
Do you maybe
you know
just
what I mean?
You need to ask about a landing page.
A landing page.
Do we have we have a landing page? Is there like a page when someone types in clarkwoods.com, they go into the landing page before like going into the website, or is it just go?
I mean, if they go to clarkwoods.com, they get my blog. If they go to clarkwoods.com/hot, they get the full.
So what you should do, you should have a landing page where it just like if you type in clarkwoods.com, it takes you to this landing page. It'd be like, do you want to check out this blog? Do you want to check out my podcast? Do you want to be like,
I don't know. I don't want to get us off. I don't want to get us off topic, but I don't know what the fuck that was. But I have definite opinions about landing pages.
You don't like landing pages?
Yeah, no, landing strip I can do.
What the little piece of pubic hair above a woman's vagina. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, those aren't bad.
Oh, okay.
Dudes can have landing strips too. Dudes can have landing strips too.
Oh, so fucking tapes. Oh, so fucking tapes.
You did it.
I wanted to say it again.
You wanted to say it again.
Because it just rolls off the tongue.
Rolls off the tongue.
And it's not because we had some problems with the computer.
No, not at all.
And that I just said the same thing twice because you just said that thing, and I decided to start off again saying that exact same thing.
Yeah, no, it's just...
It's not that.
It's not that
I just wanted to say the same thing twice in a row.
Right.
So
fucking tapes.
Fucking tapes. So what we did...
fucking tapes is what you got at Tower News, which we've talked about before.
No porn. We don't need to talk about porno today.
I'm not.
Oh, so we had
You're the one that brought up the fucking tape.
We had this newsletter that we distributed through like the mailboxes at like homeroom, or we would put them in each of the. We had a list of people that were on the newsletter, so we just printed out a bunch of copies when we would finish it, which was just a bunch of like nonsense of like sitting in Garen's basement and typing things up on a cruder version of Word than today. Yeah,
but this is what we today call a social media strategy.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we were ahead of our time.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because our music was so
avant-garde.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's right up there with the latter works of Mike Patton.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Patton, is this some German theater bullshit?
No. So we got these people on this list, and we would distribute the newsletters in the mailboxes, and then like the home we would fold it in a certain way so people couldn't see what was in it. Okay. We would just write that student's name on it,
right,
and put it in the mailbox of each of the teachers for each of those homerooms.
Yeah.
So we would just get them to deliver our mail for us.
Hey, what else are homeroom teachers for?
Right. And I think we only had a couple of different issues, and I think they might exist on Will's website somewhere in the annals of the internet. If you want to go check that out, or just do a Google search for the New Sweethearts.
Yeah.
And put in like my name or Dan or Will or Garen or all of those names, just to make sure you don't get the website for the Necco company.
Right. Yes.
Which is typically when you type in Sweethearts, that's like the first one, and I'm like, fuck.
That's where you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys knew about the social media stuff, but not the SEO. You know.
The what?
Search engine optimization.
Yeah, well, I think Will probably intentionally like blocked any sort of search engine optimization because he doesn't want anybody to ever discover the fact that this existed at some point or another. But I think it's actually been saved to the Wayback Machine, so.
No getting away from it now.
Yeah, it's going to be in the internet forever.
In the annals of the internet.
Yeah, I wish there was like some because there was some wacky shit on his website. Like there was some really crazy photos of us doing some crazy shit back in the day.
He had a really fun website that like he was one of those people I would check in every once in a while, and it would be up for a little while, and then it would be gone, and then it would be up for a little while, and then it would be gone. And
that was I think we could say it. Like
I think we can say it.
Yeah, why not? I would be like, why am I getting traffic to my website? The Cow of Doom.
Or was it .net?
I think it was .com.
.com? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a period of the internet that I both loved and hated, because it was a little bit more like you visited someone's website, and would you find anything new? There wasn't necessarily like a neat index in the way that there's like you look at a blog, there's an index. It was very serendipitous to discover new stuff on someone's site. And sometimes you'd go back and there'd be whole sections that just had magically appeared.
It was like one of those old point-and-click adventure games.
Mm-hmm, just like it. I got to ask you a question.
What's that?
About these kids today.
What kids?
These kids today. These kids that we were just talking about.
I want to hear about this segue that you got here.
These kids today. Okay, so I'm about ready this afternoon. I'm about ready to leave my house, and I get a text message from
one of your kids.
No. They're in the house with me. Why would they be texting me when they're
know.
Because they're these kids today. God damn it.
Yeah.
No. I got a text message from you, and in that text message, you asked
Why
me,
does this have to do with kids?
Because let me get there.
Oh,
Steve.
this is the thing you wanted to bring up that you didn't bring up before the show.
Yes, yeah. You took over the whole first 20 minutes of the podcast with batteries. This is before
Batteries and tapes, important things.
Very important things.
Oh yeah, the
in
whole reason why I
1990s.
brought up that double tape deck was because it took C batteries.
I'm glad we tied it back in.
People were like, "Why did he bring up that fucking stereo?"
I had a few of those too, and I don't know if I ever used them with most of it. I always plugged it in, but yeah, it had the battery option, but the batteries were not included. Ever see that movie? Batteries not included
with the little teeny robots.
Yeah, and old people, right? Wasn't it like a?
Yeah, it was like Cocoon with teeny robots.
Yeah. But I didn't see Cocoon. I just saw the shitty remake with tiny robots.
Yeah.
And it was one of the first things I saw, because I hadn't yet read E.E. Cummings, that it was purposefully styled so that it was all in lowercase, I think. So it was like asterisk, batteries not included, and the B, the N, and the I were all lowercase. Fucked up my world. When I got to college, when I was writing poetry, when I was writing things for the school literary magazine, I went ahead and always lowercased my name. It was E. Christopher Clark. Nothing was capitalized.
Wow. That's exceptional.
Then finally I read E. Cummings and realized I wasn't being original at all.
E. Cummings.
So I got a text message
from me.
From you. You ask if I can pick you up some Narragansetts.
Yes, because I was running a little late. In fact, probably about 2 minutes before you arrived, maybe 3 or so. I had just gotten out of the shower and gotten dressed and whatever, because I was in my little nest on the couch.
Mm-hmm. So I was way more efficient with the buying of the beer than expected.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so you asked me, and I'm like, oh sure. Is there a place near you? And then I realized, there's a place down the street from me, and I can just stop there. But as I'm walking in, I'm realizing it's Sunday. And I'm thinking, are they actually open? I mean, why would Steve ask me if he didn't know that I could buy beer? But then I'm thinking, when did this happen? When could I suddenly buy alcohol on a Sunday? Now that may seem weird to other people in the country or to these youngins today, but there was a time where you wanted to get yourself for schnickered in the state of Massachusetts. You had to drive your ass up over the border into New Hampshire.
Or go to a bar.
I guess go to a bar.
Yeah, but I think bars couldn't serve until after noon or something like that. Yeah.
So is it the? I didn't check the hours. Maybe is
like if you got like a football game going on and then people can't drink watching it at your bar, then or restaurant, people are going to be upset.
Right. So bars could do it, but liquor stores were subject to the so-called blue laws.
Yes, because we are a state that although pretty liberal as far as their politics nowadays, and for a great deal of time or overtime. But
we were founded by Puritans.
Yeah, founded by Puritans.
Who technically, in their day and age, were liberal, right? I mean, they wanted to practice a different religion than the crown. So they were pretty out there. Maybe.
I guess.
I don't know.
But
so the Puritans came and they founded the thing, and they don't like to have fun, the Puritans.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just by the name of it, they got to be kind of sticks in the mud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I think it happened at least 10 years ago.
Okay.
That you could. I think it started with towns that were directly or maybe 2 towns away bordering
from the border. Okay.
Bordering either New Hampshire or Rhode Island. That they were like, we're losing money to people, in New Hampshire, we're losing all this business to people in New Hampshire. Let's get rid of this shit because we want to actually be able to make money.
Makes sense. It was a weird thing for me, because then I walked in, and even as I'm walking in, I'm kind of peeking over at the register to see, this place that I went to is purely a liquor store. They don't really sell anything aside from liquor, but I'm looking over there just to make sure,
So you didn't go to the place that I suggested.
No, because
You
I
went to the place near you.
I went to the place near
I
me.
I thought they might not have been open yet or something.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
no, they were open. So I went in there, but I'm looking at the register. I'm like, if I bring up alcohol, are they going to tell me no, they can't sell it to me? And then I'm realizing how stupid
why the fuck
that
would they
is
be
because-
open?
because the only thing they sell is fucking alcohol. Yeah, no. So I just, I don't know. When on earth did when did this happen?
I think it was. I think it might have been when I was in college.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember the liquor store that was across the street, across Route 9. So we had to go across this over Route 9 bridge to get to it.
So you didn't have to we
We didn't have to cross Route 9. We had to cross through some traffic to get to that bridge.
Okay.
But it wasn't the obscene amount of traffic that would be crossing Route 9. And we're fucking crazy local for you right now.
Yeah.
A bridge
a bridge on
a bridge from Framingham State to Super Discount Liquors in Framingham.
Yeah.
And from what I recall, it was not open on Sundays when I first started school.
Yeah.
Although that might have changed when I finished.
When you finished.
So it might have been more than 10 years.
A lot
ago.
of things change.
The fact that I've been out of school for more than 10 years is fucking blowing my mind.
It's a hard thing to reconcile in the brain.
Yeah, I mean, like the simple fact that you just had your 20-year last year, and I'm going to have my 20-year this year.
I'm a 20-year 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
2 years ago,
Or like a year and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it was in November of 2015 that I had mine.
but yeah, it's like, time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah.
No, I think it's just all relative, right?
Yeah.
Like as the older you get, the more time passes at a rapid pace because you've experienced more time.
Yes. Speaking of relative, this is not on the fucking list. But
Oh, fuck.
I gotta tell you something.
Oh, neat.
I gotta tell you. So yesterday we had a combined birthday party for my two daughters because their birthdays are about 2 weeks apart. So yesterday was about equidistant between the two birthdays.
See, that's not as bad as like them having their birthdays close to Christmas and then getting birthday Christmas presents.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Or Christmas birthday versary presents.
That'd be a little weird.
Yeah. Well, if it's a big thing, maybe not so bad.
I mean, every once in a while we give them separate parties, but this time around we had it combined. And Kaylee wanted the theme of Harry Potter, which played in well with the fact that she's turning 11 because 11 is when, or she turned 11, as we talked about last week. I think 11 is when kids go off to Hogwarts in the Harry Potter world.
Oh, nice.
But
Where are magical kids educated prior to going to Hogwarts?
they go to home. They stay at home.
They're homeschooled?
They're homeschooled unless they're Muggle born, in which case I imagine they go to regular school. But Melody, my younger daughter, not much of a Harry Potter fan, but super into Trolls, the newish movie, which just came out on digital HD. She's like, what about me? And it's my birthday party too. And we're like, well, invoking a famous line from the very first Harry Potter book and movie, we said, what about trolls in the dungeon? And so we had a whole room of the house that instead of being Harry Potter themed was all about trolls. And so they each got to invite some friends. They had some family over. It all went really well.
Wow.
They made potions. They made wands. It was all great. Now, this is the reason I bring it up.
Were they wands out of like pretzel rods or something?
No, they bought like little dowels at an arts and crafts place, and then feathers and little streamers and things and tape. You could make up your wand and make it really good. They had another wand.
That's like, I'm gonna have a practical magic wand.
Yeah,
but for me,
for me,
I would rather have a pretzel rod. And they could just munch on it and be like, "Oh, I just ate my wand. Got the magic is in me.
The magic is in you." The kitchen was experiments with potions. They were making all sorts of things. And my brother's old bedroom, all the curtains were closed, and they had candles and a black light and a magic 8-ball for the divination room. So some 6-year-olds got their first exposure to the magic 8-ball.
Yeah, and they got some exposure to probably like some overdue residue of John from when he was still there, and like some of his DNA all over the wall.
God, why'd you have to make it creepy? Anyway, so the reason I bring all of this up, all this.
Have you ever taken a black light to that room?
I have not. So
It's good that he doesn't listen.
the reason that I bring all of this up is that my dad and my uncle, as the party was winding down, asked a couple of times until the answer they got was yes. Were there still any friends around? Or were we just down to just family? And the reason they were asking this is because
they wanted to be offensive again?
Yes! This was it blew my fucking mind. I said to Stephanie, because I ended up going upstairs at a certain
How
point.
much did you peak when you said yes?
I peaked a lot. So I was like, why are they? I couldn't figure it out at first. And then they started trying, I don't know how this came up, but they started trying to figure out what all of the initials in LGBTQ stood for and why they needed the Q. And then this turned into, well, I don't really hate everybody. I don't know why people think I hate everybody or hate anybody. And I got to a certain point where I went upstairs and sat and watched my digital extras for Rogue One.
When you said there was family there,
bunch of family leaving because I had two people downstairs who decided now that all the non-relations are gone, now we can be offensive again. Like they'd been waiting all goddamn day.
Why doesn't he just do it? Embarrass their grandkids and maybe they'll stop being assholes.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either, man.
And
although I mean I've never been one to shy away from being offensive, and in certain circumstances I like your father's
right
overt racism. In fact, I promote it when I'm there because I find it hilarious.
Right. Well, I'm glad you get a kick out of it.
No, but the thing is, like, I don't think he's. Well, occasionally, like there's been times where like the racism gets too extreme for me, and I'm like, okay, this isn't funny. This is just terrible.
Right. Yeah.
Like occasionally, it's most of the time just dirty jokes, which I'm a big fan of.
Yes, dirty jokes are okay.
Dirty racist jokes, and like when the humor's involved, I like it.
Yeah.
But when it's just like just something like terribly racist with no humor attached to it, I'm like, no, I don't want that. Yeah. See, humor is the glue that I love.
Humor is
attach a little bit of fucking humor to it, and I don't care if you're gonna make a racist joke, just as long as you yourself don't hate the fucking race that you're making the joke about.
But isn't the fact that you're making the joke displaying at least a little bit of hate?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I could make a terrible like joke right now about like people that I love.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean that I don't love those people.
Right.
It means that I'm making a joke.
Okay.
But that's just me. Like there are people out there that hate and will use, I don't know, it fucking sucks. It sucks because I want people to fucking be able to say whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
And make jokes about whoever they want.
Yeah.
But I also don't want fucking people to take that humor seriously, and that just brings things back to everybody's a fucking moron.
Well,
it's such a bummer because there's so many good funny people out there that like get ostracized by liberals for saying the wrong thing, and there's like shitloads of it just comes back to Patton Oswalt's bit of him just saying like there's so many people
who would be on your side if you could just get past.
Not even that. It's just like the people like when a comedian or whatever makes a joke and it's against your particular community or whatever, and you destroy that person either on social media or in person or whatever. You make it so they can't work anymore.
Right.
You're the person that isn't a bad person.
Yeah.
You've just destroyed their career now has a reason to hate you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see where he's coming from there.
Well, that is not his bit, but that is what that's one of the things that I take from that sentiment.
Yeah.
But it's also that, I don't know.
Yeah. And of course,
but the thing is, like the other half of it is that there's plenty of really racist people out there that know the right things to say.
Yeah.
And will continue to be exceptionally racist in
and that is
covertly.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. That's why I don't have problems with overt racism, because I know it's there.
Right. They're not trying to hide it. I mean, that is one of his bits from the most recent album is the person who occasionally says the wrong thing or is completely insensitive, but they have their heart in the right place, versus the person who tries to hide.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yes, I'm saying so that you were saying that isn't his bit, but that actually is one of his bits from his most recent special.
Oh, okay. Well, I was paraphrasing it, and I was, taking every bit of humor out of it.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that you're in agreement with a famous comedian. You guys are sympathetic.
It would be a grand day, I think, for both of us if we could get that man on this show sometime.
It would be quite a grand day. Yeah. I don't know if I could.
We can get him a nice glass of scotch. Put it out there, like Patton Oswalt. You want to come on the show sometime? Next time you're in Boston.
Yeah. Scotch. Well, I mean, I see the thing.
I have some good scotch from Scotland.
I was gonna say, because he seems pretty particular about his scotch.
Knock on do. Come on over, buddy. We'll have some of that. I still have it from a couple of years ago.
If he listened to any amount of this show, let's invite him, but not have him listen to any past episodes of the show where I'm just gushing over everything he fucking does.
From your vagina.
Because he'll be like, from my I am
a lady person. No, not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
I roll my eyes,
I am intersexed. That's the word. Oh, I want to go back and reread that damn novel. I tried to have a conversation with students. The thing is that some people, and I think some students of mine, get less sensitive about it the more that they read and the more that they take in. But I tried to have
the less trigger warnings they have.
The conversation I tried to have last time, and I'm glad that they knew me. They could sort of wince at the terms that they were uncomfortable with, but then help correct me without being judgmental of me. So I was talking about this novel, Middlesex, that I'd read and taught once upon a time, where the characters...
Is it about people in this general area of the country? Middlesex County?
No, it is not. It is not getting local for you. No, Middlesex is about what you would nowadays call an intersexed individual who refers to himself as...
Or herself. Or themselves?
No, himself in this as a pseudo-hermaphrodite, which was, at the time, the clinical definition of this person's condition. And so I brought out in this conversation with my students the term pseudo-hermaphrodite. I watched them wince, and I said, okay, so what, how am I supposed to refer? And they say intersexed. And that reminded me, in the book, the character himself actually doesn't hate, but he wants no part of the so-called intersex movement. And so some people get really, really, and these people have their hearts in the right place just as much as the people telling the bad jokes. And I think that's ultimately, I'm just repeating things you said at this point. That's what it comes down to is the heart in the right place.
Yeah.
And
the only way you can tell that with a person is to sit down and talk with them. Yeah. I think. I mean, I think. Well, I don't think if we sat down with our dipshit in chief. And had any sort of conversation, we would gain anything, or gain any sort of.
I don't think there's anything to gain beyond what we gain just by watching him perform himself.
Yeah, it's just if we spoke to him in person, we would still despise him. I don't think there's any sort of redeemable quality about that person.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I think it will take a very good writer sometime years from now, probably a fiction writer or a dramatist, doing a fictionalized version of the dipshit in chief for us to really see him as somebody we can sympathize with.
There's no way. I don't like. I mean, there's. I
Okay.
never thought there would be a person that existed in the United States or anywhere that would make me pine for George W. Bush.
I agree with you. I'm not, but Adolf Hitler's a bad guy, right?
Right.
Wisława Szymborska, I mispronounced the first name, but Szymborska is a Polish poet, has a poem called Hitler's First Photograph, which is about Hitler as a baby. And it's haunting and it's chilling, and because Hitler as a baby is completely...
Did he have the mustache?
No, he didn't. I don't think he has a mustache in the poem. But a completely innocent individual, and so it really forces you to evaluate things. Now, would it take talking about dipshit and sheaf as a child for us to sympathize? I
You
don't
mean
know.
the silver spoon in his mouth that was given $200 million to, do whatever the fuck he wanted, Oh, just start a business. My dad gave me $200 million to start my business. Why don't you fucking Americans out there fucking scraping by, paying your student loans, fucking trying to fucking make it in this world? Why don't you do that?
Well, so I bring all of this up as a sort of ham-fisted transition into so what I've been doing this usually.
Pick yourself up by your bootstraps, for Christ's sake.
I am teaching the play Angels in America by Tony Kushner right now.
America.
Angels in America. And this play is set in the 1980s. It is set during the AIDS crisis.
Oh, it's set in the 80s.
It's set in the 80s. And it features a fictionalized version of a character called Roy Cohn. Are you familiar with Roy Cohn?
Well, for those of the listening audience that aren't, you could do a little bit of explaining.
A little bit of explaining. So Roy Cohn was a lawyer. He was involved in the McCarthy hearings in the 50s.
Oh, good.
And then later on in life was a mentor to our current dipshit in chief. Roy Cohn was also, although he kept it private, a homosexual. Although he did not think of himself this way, and that is part of what's going on in the play. And what I talk to my students about is, especially my creative writing students, I say, if you want to write about somebody that you despise, you could do yourself a big service to go read this fucking play, because Cohn is seen as a sort of devil by most of the people, by the person who wrote the play, by most of the gay community, by most of the liberal community. Roy Cohn is evil incarnate, and yet this writer, Kushner, makes him somehow sympathetic. And so what I'm saying is, so if Tony Kushner can make Roy Cohn be sympathetic in a play, then I think somewhere down the line, somebody might be able to make Cohn's protege, Mr. Dipshit in Chief, be a sympathetic character.
All right, so I will believe it.
I think it's possible.
I will believe it when I see it. All right.
Yes.
Because I don't think that is possible. I think that he is absolutely irredeemable. There's nothing good about this person.
Is Aaron Burr irredeemable?
Well, get a little peanut butter in your mouth. You can't say the thing on the whatever the fuck. Aaron Burr, what was wrong with Aaron Burr?
Aaron Burr, he shot fucking Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton was a fuckface.
All right. So Alexander Hamilton is irredeemable.
I don't think he's irredeemable. He might have been a fuckface. But there were probably things about him that were good.
Yeah.
Our current administration chief. There's nothing good about that person.
Nothing.
I wish NBC
WNBC
had just not put his fucking reality show on the air.
Yeah.
Because
you think that would have been the difference?
I think that would have been the difference. If we go back to 2000 or whenever it fucking started, and that show didn't exist.
Yeah.
People would be aware of him.
Especially if they watched wrestling in the 80s.
Yeah. Because he was in fucking Home Alone 2, not helping a small child as he's in a big ritzy hotel.
We should have known. That's when we should have known.
Yeah. But if that show didn't exist, like his media exposure would not have been as much.
Right.
And like the amount of people that gave a shit about him would have been significantly less.
Right.
But, that's me armchair quarterbacking NBC's program decisions
WNBC.
from 17 years ago.
But there's light. There's light this week.
Yeah.
His healthcare plan, Trump Care.
Yeah, Trump Care.
Trump Care. We're not going to say his name elsewhere, but we'll say his name as relates to the healthcare package. Trump Care.
Trump Care. That
Trump
thing
Care.
that was a brainchild of his administration. That and House Republicans. They put that awesome package together and couldn't get it passed for some reason.
I don't know.
It's as much as I don't like the people in the Freedom Caucus, like they fucking saved us.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going to vote for this fucking piece of shit legislation.
Right.
Whereas, the rest of the Republicans were, and obviously no Democrats were going to fucking vote for this.
No. Oh, but it's the Democrats' fault.
No, it's not the Democrats' fault.
Oh, that's what dipshit in chief says. He says
dipshit in chief is trying to spin it because he just had an epic failure. And there's no... unless you're one of those deluded people that thinks that everything he says is true, which means you are as big of a moron as you can get. And we could switch the conversation to the can of beverage.
Yes.
Then you believe whatever the fuck you want, because if you think that everything that a pathological
made up by the liberal media,
if you think that everything that a pathological liar says is true, and everything that people that may or may not have your best interests,
these newspapers, Steve, they're all in Hillary's pocket.
No, they're all in the newspaper is supposed to be selling newspapers or whatever news outlet is supposed to be selling advertising dollars and just getting eyeballs on the screen. They don't necessarily care or don't care about.
No, but they care about the selling eyeballs so they can put money into the pockets of Hillary Clinton, that eyeball hater.
Whatever, but. It's not like this is a new subject we're treading upon, like the fact that I hate the president, and way more than I hated Bush.
Breaking news.
Way more. Bush has come out and
he loves to play dress up.
Bush has come out and recently, and because I think this is the perfect time for him to have his coming out party as not an asshole anymore.
Oh my God!
Because he's like. Hey, everybody, look at me.
I'm painting pictures of soldiers that I put into harm's way.
I'm hugging the former first lady. We're buddies.
Yeah.
That's my push. Turr. He's coming out, going on Jimmy Kimmel, fucking getting laughs. He's like, okay. This is the only time I could have come out of hiding.
Right?
It's like the most hated president ever is in the White House. I can come back out and be like, hey, I'm kind of charming. And his approval rating is going to go through the roof because he's not that fucking asshole.
It's so absolutely ridiculous. Him and his goddamn portraits of soldiers. It's just...
He's a goose. But the thing is, he was not a great president.
No.
And I didn't like him the entire time he was in the White House. Or maybe I don't know. No, I don't think I wanted him there at any time ever.
No. I mean, I got used to it here and there, but not because
I think around 9/11 was when his approval rating was at the highest.
Yeah.
Aside from him.
There was some. I remember there being some. All of us kind of falling under the spell of he handled it better than Al would have handled it. I don't know how accurate that is, but I feel like that was in the air at that time as we all sort of came together.
What do you say, Al?
But then later we sort of more came to the realization it might not have fucking happened if Al had been.
It might have still happened.
I
don't think Al Gore's magic powers would have made it so.
I mean, he has some
that two basically warring.
He's more of a druid, Al Gore.
He's like two warring, like the CIA and the FBI were basically not communicating, which was the major problem.
Yeah.
Of I don't want to say the major problem. The major problem was these fuckholes that flew planes into buildings.
Yeah.
But the intelligence that was gathered wasn't like shared in between intelligence communities, and that was one of the reasons why fucking shit like that happened.
Yeah. You want to talk about
thermite paint?
Yes, Jesse. Yes,
I mean, you
Governor
can't
Ventura.
melt steel with fire.
No. No.
Even with jet fuel.
No.
All right, so you got one of these.
I did. So when I was getting alcohol earlier, and I told you to hold off on this, and you did. When I was getting alcohol earlier, I got you alcohol, and I said, you know what? I'll get myself some alcohol too. And because I'm a lightweight, I bought myself
one can
of Mike's Harder Lemonade. 8% alcohol by volume.
And
Warning.
it says warning contains alcohol.
It does. And you, before we even got started on the show, had something to say about that.
So, okay, the thing that bugs me about people that consider themselves libertarians is, I mean, the whole idea of libertarianism is to be able to be free to do what the fuck you want, right?
Free to do what I want.
Keep on.
Any old time.
So, yeah, and
I'm free.
now the thing is, like,
I wish I could describe
the reason why that warning label is on there, is because we don't want children to be consuming alcohol,
or pregnant
women, or other things. But the thing is, like, is that warning label or like that warning or whatever fucking thing that's on the, like, say, if someone puts like a black lung on the pack of cigarettes like they do up in Canada, is that preventing you from buying the cigarettes?
Not if you live in Kevin Smith's universe, where they're called fucking, what are they called? They're called
nails,
something like that. Yeah.
I watched Yoga Hosers.
I don't know if we have enough time.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So yes. Would that keep me from smoking the cigarettes? No. There are other things that would.
So
keep me
you
from
are
smoking
completely
the cigarettes,
in any sort of you are completely free to smoke those cigarettes or drink that alcohol.
do what I want.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
old time.
and it's not going to prevent you from being free.
No.
Now, so the problem with them is like,
this is my right.
The government
A right given by God.
Oh God, I fucking care. Why are we still talking like this? You've got me on a tangent here.
Did you get
why
that
are we
right?
still talking about God in the year 2017?
That one I can't help you with.
Like, really? Like, I understand like having like some sort of like belief in something can be beneficial to certain
believing
people.
in a jolly old fat man who comes down your chimney and delivers your presents once every year. Yeah.
But like, I don't understand how it's I don't get why it's still prevalent. Like,
well, because God money, I'll do anything for you.
All right, so let's just go back to this because this is just gonna.
I don't know. I don't have any answers about.
But the thing is, like the evil government that the libertarians are always trying to fight, like that are basically looking out for consumers.
Yeah.
Like the tobacco industry for the longest time basically fought tooth and nail saying that there's no health issues that you can have from smoking cigarettes.
In fact, at the beginning, they were trying to say that there were health benefits.
Yeah. And it's just that is a bunch of garbage.
Yes.
And the thing is, like, I don't want cigarettes to be banned. And I quit smoking almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to have the choice to fucking smoke cigarettes if they fucking want to.
Do what you want.
Yeah, and
I mean, don't do it in a place where I have to breathe your secondhand smoke, but do whatever the fuck you want.
No, well, I like the what was it? Like, I am fully behind restaurant owners to have like smoking at a bar or a restaurant or whatever, and basically, in restaurants to not do that because. If as like, back, 10 years ago,
Right.
I would go to the bars and the restaurants where I could smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I would not want to get anywhere near those fucking places
Right.
because I don't want to be fucking reeking like cigarettes or whatever else.
Yeah, yeah.
Or just inhaling a bunch of secondhand smoke.
Right. Right.
So,
But you'd rather allow them to make up the decision themselves.
yeah, I mean, like, are they like? There's probably a significant market out there of people that want to fucking smoke indoors,
I would say so. Yeah.
and there's a significant.
And you're not going to get them to stop smoking just by telling them that they can't smoke
yeah.
indoors.
I mean, they like cigarette prices since I quit have more than doubled.
Yeah. But people are still smoking.
But people are still smoking. Like, this is not something that it's going to go away.
And they're going poor. They're getting poor by.
No, but like, okay, but it's fine. Like, they can go get poor.
They're using they're trying to
using
find ways to use their welfare to buy their cigarettes.
Can you do that?
I don't know. Well, I'm trying to remember what the rules were the last time I worked at a supermarket. I think the rules were like they could buy everything else, but
Except
then like
for
you'd have
cigarettes
to,
and alcohol?
You'd have to like ring up the cigarettes and alcohol separately. But then, of course, the fucking conservatives are all like, they're using their welfare for their fucking drugs, and I don't know.
I'm one of those people that says fucking let people have drugs. Like, and I'm talking beyond marijuana.
Yeah.
Like, I think anybody in the United States today, if they wanted to, could easily obtain some heroin and shoot smack if they fucking wanted to.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that's difficult, considering how much of a rampant problem heroin abuse is in this country at this time.
Right.
So I'm on the page of let's fucking let people do as much smack as they want.
And tax the hell out of it?
No,
Or-
I don't care if you. Well, obviously you're going to tax it if it's available through like a legal stream.
Right.
But you can't tax it too much because then there'll be like a crazy
There'll be
underground.
a gray market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, the reason why I brought up the fact that you can do it now anytime you wanted to,
Right.
is the fact that, like, I'm assuming you, I can only speak for myself here,
Okay.
but the both of us have never done heroin. Can
No,
I
never.
safely say that?
You can safely say
Can I safely say that neither of us have ever shot smack or
Yeah,
done
no, I have not.
coke or done some crazy fucking drug?
No. I mean, you can safely say that.
Okay, well, let's just safely say that neither of us have, and the ability to get those is something that we could obtain.
Yeah.
And so why have these goddamn things that are terrible for you and could have like extreme detriments to your health? Why have the two of us never done them? Because they're fucking terrible for you.
Right.
And with like a label like this, like on the heroin you can get at fucking at Wegmans. Can that be the show title? The heroin you can get at Wegmans? That'll get us sued.
No, it won't.
Oh fucking really? An arcade bar might.
The heroin you can get at Wegmans.
That can't like no.
No, it can. It totally can.
That we're talking hypothetical Wegmans.
Hypothetically, yeah.
But just let's not call the show that,
Oh,
please.
come on.
It's-
I'm usually
it's
the one
one of my
that talks you
favorite
out.
lines ever, but no. Please don't. Like it should also be on the label. It says like heroin is a fucking terrible thing that could kill you with one use. Like don't use it.
Yeah.
And people should be like, and with fucking like food. That should also have the same fucking warning label. Like, hey, this fucking Count Chocula has more sugar in it than like 15 apples, like in one bowl. Like,
Count Chocula may kill you,
yeah, it probably like.
but only if your blood tastes like chocolate milk.
Jesus Christ! But the thing is, like, sugar is fucking poison, and
Sugar's not poison.
Yes, it is.
Sugar is
It is-
a spice, right?
It is used in poetry as sugar and spice, which is a different thing.
Okay.
And everything nice to describe ladies.
Yes, I am aware of the reference.
Okay, but the thing is, like, sugar is really terrible for you, which is why I haven't been consuming it as much. And as delicious as fucking a Snickers or a peanut butter cup is.
Thank you.
Like, I want those things, and I like, my body's like, oh, that's fucking an amazing combination.
I mean, they
of
make
sugars and fats like together.
They make them put the fucking calories on the candy bars now.
Yeah, but
that's a start. I don't know.
But the thing is, like, the amount of calories in, like, from something that is sugar based as opposed to something that is like something else based, like,
right,
like could. I mean, like, sugar, like, you know, the thing that people have problems with diabetes, like, like that's sugar that like your liver has to, like, process all that shit. Yeah. I mean, like, the thing is, like, there's like people are having crazy problems with fatty liver disease without ever having touched alcohol. And it doesn't make sense to me. And I know I'm sort of a hypocrite because I'm still drinking alcohol and not drinking sugar or eating sugar or whatever.
Right.
But I just, it's not good for you. And the fact that
everything should have a label on it.
Everything should have a label on it. Like, if it's not good for you, like, if it, like, things that shouldn't have labels on them, apples, bananas, like things that you can, like, derive from nature, marijuana, maybe.
Should we put a label on air, like, is likely to kill you in 70 to 90 years?
Yes.
Breathing?
No, we don't need to fucking do that with, but things that
Breathing
people have to pay money for, like, there should be a label on it if there's toxic things in it.
There's toxic things in the air.
But you get that for free, Chris.
I don't think we have time for D&D.
We don't have time for D&D.
D&D.
But I'm sick. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. Fucking cut the shit, assholes. Fucking let people put a label on it and then make your decision beyond that. You can still make a decision beyond that. You still have a decision to make. You still have freedom. You
Roy
fuck
Cohn,
faces.
Juan Perón, Toscanini, Dacron, Din Din, Foos Foos, Rock Around the Clock. Einstein, James Dean, Brooklyn's Got a Winning Team, Davy Crockett, Peter Pan, Elvis Presley, Disneyland, Bardo, Budapest, Alabama, Khrushchev, Peyton Place, something something.
The next time we do karaoke, you're doing this song. All right?
Trouble in the Suez. That's where I first learned about Roy Cohn.
Reading the lyrics we didn't start the fire.
Didn't start the fire. It's always burning.
I'm sick of fucking people. I'm sick of everybody. Please, and I also, like, stop making suicide illegal. Like, fucking let, like, terrible people kill themselves.
Yes.
And let's
people
try
who
to
love Billy Joel songs. They should just get it over.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about fucking shitheads that fucking want to make my life more miserable and the lives of fucking millions of Americans more miserable. Let's fucking let them kill themselves. In fact, can we encourage that? Like,
I think, well, you know, God. I don't.
Yeah, we just say that God told them to do it.
Well, but apparently God doesn't like it when you do that.
Okay, well, let's try to, like,
you're gonna find somebody.
Let's try to work something into the Bible that says it's okay to do that, and you should do it often, especially if you're a conservative Republican asshole.
I think it might be in Leviticus.
Yeah, let's do some research,
or maybe Job.
But the thing is, like, also people that are great shouldn't commit suicide, like people like Robin Williams, who we lost a couple of years ago, like around the time we started doing the show, who are fantastic and bring joy to people. Those people should fucking remain around, and these fuck faces that ruin people's lives should not be there. So please kill yourselves if you can and are willing. I'm sorry.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/139. And if you have anything to say about anything we've said, you can send what you have to say to hot@clarkwoods.com. That's an email address. Or you can follow us on Twitter. I am at ECC1977.
And I am at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday, IS Loser, all one word. And you can send all your hate mail to my inbox, which I will ignore.
You realize there's not going to be any better title than the heroin you get at Wegmans.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Chris, you're going to have to listen to the whole show, which you'll do anyways, and figure something else out and jot down other potential candidates.
Oh, I'll just have to stop.
You could just call it other potential candidates. It's like one of the last things we said in the fucking show.
Other potential candidates. That's what we all wished for in 2016.
Right.